Hi, welcome back to Heretic Owl Tarot. My name is Liz, your guide on this journey on this channel. I want to say, first of all, thank you so much for such a positive response to the human design profile videos. I know, obviously, if this is your first time, welcome. But the last time I put out videos, I said that I was going to be focusing more on the human design profile readings versus doing both those and the zodiac sign readings. And I also said that was just the guidance that I received, basically. So I feel like, it's following my strategy and authority, following that feeling. So, that's what we do, even if it doesn't make sense to us. So there is a link in the description below if you don't know your human design profile. Even if you don't know anything about human design, this isn't necessarily to teach you about human design or, kind of be so advanced that you don't get it. This is more just message by profile because it's just an added element, a different way of receiving messages outside of your sun, moon, rising, right? So it is still about the tarot message. And of course, I do generally give some sort of blurb about each profile before we begin. So with that being said, we're using the Oracle of Destiny and the Muse tarot today. I was kind of like, for a couple days, I was just kind of like whining to myself because I haven't bought any new decks and I can't even tell you how long. But then I was reminded that I had bought this deck and another one these were probably the last, this deck and the other one is probably the last decks that I bought. And I just kind of put them on a desk out of the way and totally forgot about them. So I was glad that it, kind of presented itself like, hello, I'm here, I'm new. So we're going to use it and the Muse. What was that? The World? Oh, that was the Wheel. Interesting, because I've seen that a lot lately. Anyway, let's get into it. Hi. Again. So if you're here, you may be a 5-1 or heretic investigator. What in the world? Is something going on with the throat? I'm sorry. No, I'm just choking on my own spit. No problem. Sorry. So we usually talk about like the positive. Well, yeah, okay. We usually talk about like the positive aspects of the profile, right? I know with you guys, because I'm a 5-1 also, we do kind of talk about, like the projection field and stuff like that, which is sometimes not all positive. But I did find, this was back in July, on Facebook, I found this the 12 archetypal defense mechanisms of the Not Self series by Profile. So this just talks about the not self or the shadow side of each profile. So I wanted to share that with you and let me know if it resonates. So it says 5-1, they are paranoid about being insecure. They try to hide their insecurity from others by their actions, and ironically, in doing so, they actually expose it. The more they expose their insecurities, the more withdrawn they become. Well, I feel all the way called out. I don't know. What do you think? I know, like that the first line is going to lead with insecurity, because the sense of security comes from knowledge, right? And understanding things. So, and I have started to say to people, I lead with insecurity because I do. Like, especially pertaining to myself. Other people, Not at all. Not a single shred of insecurity about, like other people and their capacity to do things. But with me, I'm like immediately insecure. And then I like have to like work my way up from there. Oh my gosh. I also have a completely open heart center. So that just adds to the fun, Let's see what oracle card we get. Mount of Venus. Beautiful. We're going to read about this too from the book, because the Mount of Venus is somewhere on our hands. I can't remember if it's like this corner or this corner, but it's somewhere. I think it's kind of funny. They put those little dots, like those little crevices that we have in our backs. Interesting. I kind of get like, and of course it's because they're in water, but I get like, kind of being in our feels a bit. But we will read about that. First, though, let's get our tarot cards out. Cards are jumping, but they gotta come out. We have the Four of Pentacles. We have the Six of Emotions, or the Six of Cups. 10 of Pentacles. 8 of Cups. That is too many. We have the Ace of Cups. The King of Pentacles. Beautiful. Oh my gosh. The Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck, and the Ten of Cups, the Wheel of Fortune, Justice. What is up here? What's going on here? We'll talk about it. Like, where is this Three of Swords coming from? We'll talk about it. Let me just make sure everything is in frame. Okay. So let's read this card and see what it says. It would have been kind of funny if the Empress would have come out, because she's, ruled by Venus, which, oh, maybe they don't go together. So, aspect of the hand. Okay. Aspect of the hand. The Mount of Venus is the fleshy part of the palm that is located below the thumb. Venus, the goddess of both carnal and spiritual love, inspires the forces contained in this place, a taste for the pleasure of life, from good food to sex and beautiful things. Lover of the god Mars and mother of Cupid, Venus tells us of the energy that we have at our disposal, which we should draw on to cope with life. The Mount of Venus protects our stamina, which is our ability to access the most important reserves of vital energy that exists. Love. Divinatory meaning. Here lies your deepest reserve of energy, your safe, your storehouse. Think of the thing that is most powerful to you: a hug, the sea, a memory. When you feel tired, when you need to regenerate, when you are in difficulty, go to your Mount of Venus. Therein lies your strength, in that place you have seen. I also love how on the table we have pentacles and we have water or cups. So it's, the physical world and our emotional body, regardless of if you are emotionally defined or not. We all still have emotions, right? It might just show up differently for you depending on if you're emotionally defined or not. And of course, those of us, because I am, those of us that are emotionally defined, like the emotional solar plexus, we have that wave to consider, right? And then at the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Swords. I still just find that to be, I'm just laughing because I also, it's like, you know, I get it, but let's work our way through it and see how we arrive at the 3 of Swords. So the 4 of Pentacles talks about generally about holding on too tight. It could even be a message about needing to budget, just needing to be a bit more aware of like where resources are going. But sometimes, it can show up as almost being like immovable, like there's being grounded, since it is Pentacles, right? It's Earth. So, we talk about being grounded. And there's a difference between being grounded as far as like not having your head in the clouds, being present, but also then the kind of shadow side, or the not self, if you want to call it that, is being so grounded that you're immovable. Almost like kind of Taurus like. You don't have to be a Taurus, but it's just, trying to push a bull if they don't want to, like kind of being stubborn. And it's interesting that it's paired with the 8 of Cups, because the 8 of Cups is recognizing when it's time to move on from something. Cups having to do with our emotions, Pentacles having to do with our money, how we get it, how we save it, how we spend it even. It's our time, like what are we spending our physical time doing? How are we investing our physical time? It's even our physical body. How are we taking care of that? What type of attention are we giving to our, physical body? So it's interesting because my eye keeps going to this camel over here. And camels, they hold water in those humps, right? That's why they can, for one, exist in the desert and make long journeys. So it's interesting here because, the look on their face, it almost feels like a bit of concern. Maybe you're worried about your reserves, right? Like how much you have saved, or, the resources that are available to you. Maybe you're trying to stretch resources too. Maybe there's something in your life that you are trying to hold on to, like you're trying to strategize how to make it fit into your life. Like you're trying to strategize how to hold on to it. And maybe that's just a fear of letting it go. Because again, right, Cups having to do with our emotions, it's our heart chakra, how we feel about things. Love, right? Love for ourselves, love for others. It doesn't have to be romantic naturally. But the 8 of Cups, again, right, it talks about moving forward. And not only that, but, they are moving towards the 9 of Cups, which is wish fulfillment. It's your desire and your passions and what makes you feel good. And speaking of, right, I mean, like they look like they are walking through a desert here. I say, speaking of camels. She doesn't look like a camel. I'm not saying that, she is. But even just, I might even look up the totem for a camel because I'm just kind of curious. I might, if I remember. I don't even have anything to like take a note on. I should remember to do that too. But if I don't remember, just Google the totem for a camel, like the meaning, just spiritual, whatever meaning for a camel is. Because I think that there's something there. Because maybe there is this kind of journey here. And maybe you are almost like resisting that. Like maybe that it's time to let go of something. But maybe you can't see, because in this, there's nothing in this card, right? there's nothing that would signify that, if you were to let go of the thing, that you would achieve it, right? Like, and that's scary. Not having a plan or like a practical, kind of solution, because I know us fifth lines, with the practical solution thing, it's hard to like release and trust. We have the Six of Cups here. The Six of Cups is the card of the past. Nostalgia, the good old days. It's inner child. Also, we can see this child here. And this looks like a mirror, right? But it also, like, I don't know. I can't ever get the sense of if it is reflecting something or if it's like showing the path forward. Because, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, this almost looks like she's like sitting on the ocean floor or something. And in the reflection in this mirror, there's trees. This almost looks like a forest and a path. They're sitting on luggage here. It could be traveling. It could even have something to do with family that, like would bring you back to, because I don't know about you, but I'm 40 now. And anytime I go home, there's still aspects of like me as a child that come through. And I'm like, oh my God, like I'm 40 and I still like, these feelings still, come up, and coping mechanisms and, like defense mechanisms even, still tend to show themselves no matter how much inner work I've done. So, there's a lot that this card kind of encompasses. It can be inner child work, and maybe even, this gripping too tight or not letting go or holding on to something, maybe that is a response from your inner child. It could even be the paranoia thing that we talked about at the beginning. Could be, insecurity, even like not, insecurity in the sense where it like makes you hesitate or it makes you flinch. But there could just be something that is coming back around, because whatever is for us, my belief is like, if it is for us, we're not going to miss it. We're not going to miss the opportunity. Because I fucking hate when when you hear people, it's like, it's a test. I can't stand that. I hate tests, and I refuse to believe that I would ever be tested. Maybe I'm Delulu, I don't care. But or you hear those things about like, don't miss this opportunity, or like you're gonna miss it or whatever. No, I just don't believe that. I do think though, however, like if it comes into your life, and if you are not in the right like emotional, space or capacity to recognize it and go for it, then it might like need to make a turn around the block type of thing, but it's gonna come back. It has to. It's yours, of course. So, there could be something from your past coming back up, or maybe even, something that you tried in the past and maybe it didn't go very well, because maybe, like you were, trying to control the outcome, or you were attached to an outcome in some capacity. Because it's paired with the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning. It's almost like refreshing. And like I said, so, the Six of Cups feels like they're sitting on the bottom of the ocean, and the Ace of Cups, they're like coming up to the surface. There could have even been something that you healed from your past, like maybe you discovered something about your inner child in this process, because whatever this Four of Pentacles and Eight of Cups is, it is saying that it is time to move forward with the Eight of Cups. And even this like presence of the camel, like maybe it's also just like a message about like you have enough. You will have enough. The Ace of Cups is also, like your cup being full to the point of overflowing even. And, like I said, with this Mount of Venus and her being in the lake there, there's something about like the emotional body, and that's where, our conditioning lives. That's where our inner child lives. And there's kind of this like cleansing thing happening. And then we have the Ten of Pentacles paired with the King of Pentacles. Like, definitely, like I was kind of saying over here, even this like protection aspect. My dog was drinking water. Like, maybe you need water. I definitely do. So maybe it's even just a little throw that in there to hydrate. But the Ten of Pentacles is, I'm going to try to like not let him drink until I'm done. I'm almost done. Kind of. Oh, he's just going to go outside. He's a Libra. So. So, the Ten of Pentacles, tens are, completion. It's also, it's success, abundance. There's a community aspect to it. It could be generational wealth. It could be legacy. But we have this tree with, the 10 roses on it. There's all these people around it too. Could even just be finding your people. Even working with the right people, because materials or pentacles having to do with our work, right? Like how we spend our time, our, where we get our money from. And if you're concerned about where is it going to come from, then this would say there's something that is being revitalized, like again from the past, whatever that is. And it is going to be successful with the Ten of Pentacles. And then the King of Pentacles, as if like one indication of that wasn't enough. Like, the cards are literally saying, if you don't believe that, then believe, the King of Pentacles, because the King of Pentacles is the highest expression of the suit. So they're very much in control of their finances, very much financially successful, like their health is under control. They are able to control their time, right? And I don't necessarily mean like control as far as like the Four of Materials goes, but just in the sense of, there's it's almost like effortless, And what's interesting too is, like I said, in the Six of Cups here, how in this reflection there's trees. It looks like there's this path that almost kind of looks foresty. And in this King of Pentacles, this is a forest in here. And they're crossing this bridge into, that almost kind of looks like desert. But it just, from one world to the next type of thing. Mastering this world, and like just there being more opportunity available here, which is really interesting how that even played out. But it's like, the difference between the Four of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles, it's like you have enough financially where you don't have to worry about robbing Peter to pay Paul, or not having to worry about where that income is going to come from. And that sense of control is because you have a sense of ease, right? Like it's not like your grip is so tight on things that, and you're so grounded that you're not moving. This is being grounded in the sense of being present. It could even be following strategy and authority, because, strategy and authority is going to help you enter into the quote unquote correct experiences for you. And the profile is how you interact with those experiences. So again, even going back to the Ten of Pentacles, like, working with the right people, having the capacity to do so, this is also, cups are also very intuitive. It's almost like allowing your physical life to flow by your like intuition, which again could even go back to strategy and authority. Not that strategy and authority is like intuitive. I guess it could be actually. Because no doubt, wherever you are in your human design experiment, whether you're a total noob or, advanced, like no doubt you could probably pinpoint areas in your life where you did follow your strategy and authority without even actually knowing you did. And you can, recognize like how that worked out for you versus other times where you didn't. So with the Three of Swords at the bottom of the deck, this could even be the insecurity thing coming up. Swords having to do with our minds, thoughts, perceptions, it's truth, honesty. Also ego, because that's generally where we hear our ego is in our minds, and our ego is created by the stories that we attach to experiences, to feelings. So this could even just be having to work through those insecurities that we talked about. Not like holding yourself back. Anytime I see a door, I think opportunity, not hiding, right? Because they're kind of in the shadow of this door. If you need to cry, do it. But like allow yourself to move forward too. I don't necessarily like see this as a bad thing after this reading. If anything, it's like some sort of fear that's coming up, and maybe that's, inner child stuff, like fear of being seen, fear of putting yourself out there, of coming out from behind the door, because these feel almost kind of like spotlighty, even though they're supposed to be swords to me. There might even just have to be something that you leave behind in some capacity. Because like after the Three of Swords, we have the Ten of Cups, which is the minor arcana card to the Sun card. So it's joy, it's bliss. We have all these people down here, like everybody's cup is full, everybody feels purposeful, fulfilled. We have the Wheel of Fortune. Things, turning. I always see the Wheel of Fortune as a good card. I don't care where it shows up. There's even, moon phases here. So, we just had a full moon 2 days ago in Aries, wherever that is for you. We have an eclipse coming up on the 14th. So there could just be big things changing for you in the next, 2 weeks. We have the Justice card, karma, fate, the scales balancing, Libra, which is interesting because, that eclipse is happening in Libra. The full moon was in, right? Isn't it in Libra? Maybe it's in Taurus. I want to say it's Libra though. I don't know why Taurus is coming to mind. But the South Node is in Libra right now. The full moon just happened we have this full moon down here that just happened in Aries. So there could just be big things, like out in the ethers that are happening that are just kind of affecting your life right now. We have the Knight of Swords, the Knight of Wands, Ace of Materials, or the Ace of Pentacles, the Two of Cups. So it's like, the Knight of Swords moves forward very quickly, puts thoughts into action type of thing. Speaking of action, putting thoughts into action, like being adventurous, trying things. Ace of Pentacles is like a new opportunity. All of that behind this Three of Swords. So it's kind of like, trusting yourself, trusting your strategy and authority, trusting, things to unfold, even trusting this thing that is coming up again, trusting that to work out differently. I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for allowing me to read your cards. I will talk to you soon. Bye.